looking for their first this afternoon from a Giggs corner. Scholes! They've got their first. Inside 5 minutes. And Manchester City's defensive frailties there for all to see. Pretty straightforward corner from Giggs. Scholes is not the biggest, and it took a touch way past Immel to make the goal absolutely sure. But a free header for Scholes, a deflection off curl. It's 1-0 to Manchester United, and Manchester City will fear the worst, certainly their fans.
Guessing the right way, there was little he could do about the accuracy of the spot kick. Ryan Robson's team lead. Well, that's...
Les Ferdinand may not be the apple of England coach Terry Venable's eye just yet, but he'll always be guaranteed a warm welcome at Loftus Road. This was Ferdinand's first match at QPR since he switched allegiance to Newcastle, and he returned to a rapturous reception. The match had been slow to ignite, but just before half-time, it was Rangers who delivered the opening goal. Ian Holloway crossing for Danny Dichio to head in his 6th goal in 6 games. But in the second half, it was Newcastle who seized the initiative. First, within a minute of the restart, David Ginola found Keith Gillespie for a header that looped into the far corner. Then a second goal that had supporters of both teams applauding. Those of Newcastle in delight, those of Rangers in admiration of the man they'd been so sorry to see go. This was Les Ferdinand at his most lethal. Such strength shown by Ferdinand in outpacing Danny Maddox, himself hardly a slouch. 11 goals now for Ferdinand this season. But for Rangers, Trevor Sinclair was in irrepressible mood, and on 68 minutes, his skill and commitment set up the equaliser. A superb cross met by another positive header from Dichio. 4 minutes later, though, disaster struck at the other end for the home side. Jurgen Sommer left exposed by Carl Redding's back pass. Gillespie couldn't believe his good fortune in collecting his second of the game. Both sides built to a thrilling climax, but Newcastle held on for their 8th win in 9 Premier League games. Chelsea's manager Glenn Hoddle has decided not to pay his players draw bonuses. But at Villa Park, their chances of boosting their pay packets were enhanced by Aston Villa's profligate finishing, while Chelsea themselves almost scored through Gavin Peacock. Villa never really lived up to their second in the table status, although Savo Milosevic, searching for his first home goal, had this effort saved by Dimitri Karin. Chelsea then capitalised on the home side's disappointing display by claiming the winner 18 minutes from time. Mark Hughes was the architect for the goal scored by Dennis Wise, one of England's team in Norway in midweek. As for the head tapping in celebration, this was the goal scorer's explanation.
I was looking what happens. I got a lot of stick from a fellow, a bald-headed fellow up in the top of the stand. He kept giving me stick before at the warm-up. So I pointed to him and I said, I thought, if I score, I'm going to go over to him. And that's why I was going like that to him. And he knew it was. But I ran over there just to give him a little bit of stick, and I think he took it on the chin. Well played.
Coventry have proved a source of irritation to Liverpool in recent times. Zimbabwe international Peter Unlove was their hero last season with a hat-trick. This time it was another frustrating afternoon for Liverpool, with Coventry determined to improve on a run of 3 successive defeats. Coventry rode their luck in the first half and almost scored on the break. A good chance squandered by the Ghanaian, Neil Lamptey. John Phelan and Coventry's goal was in defiant mood throughout, but was finally beaten by Ian Rush. Fortunately for the goalkeeper and disappointingly for the Welshman, it was ruled out for offside. A hard-earned point for Coventry, 0-0 at Anfield. The Premier League's latest player of the month is Tony Yeboah. The Leeds striker has opened the campaign with a flurry of goals, 11 now in as many matches, most of them spectacular. Yeboah, though, was contained for the most part by Arsenal's well-organised defence. Andy Cousins, one of the youth players at Ellen Road, came closest to a first-half goal for the home side, a deflected shot well saved by England's David Seaman. Then at the other end, just 2 minutes from half-time, a moment that John Lukic, playing against his old club, will want to forget on this, his 400th senior appearance for Leeds. His rash clearance presenting Paul Merson with the chance to score his first Arsenal goal since April. Without the injured Gary McAllister, Leeds lacked imagination and found themselves in serious trouble in the second half. First, on 56 minutes, a clever flick from Dennis Bergkamp as he anticipated a header-on from Steve Bold. 2 down, but Leeds rallied briefly and nearly got a goal back. David Wetherall twice hitting the bar, with David Seaman floundering. All in all, though, an unhappy afternoon for Leeds, which doesn't bode well for Tuesday's UEFA Cup tie with the Dutch side, PSV Eindhoven. Their misery compounded by a third Arsenal goal 4 minutes from the end. A delightful one, too, from Ian Wright. Superb awareness from the Arsenal striker for this his 10th goal of the season to give a final score of Leeds 0, Arsenal 3.
When's the last...
Transfer from Newcastle, where a regular first-team place was no longer guaranteed. It was, though, an unproductive start for Fox as Spurs failed to build on their recent unbeaten run. With Forest a constant threat on the break, this was Dutchman Brian Roy extending Ian Walker in the Tottenham goal. Watched by Giroud, manager of Forest's UEFA Cup opponents Auxerre, Forest took the lead with a splendid goal halfway through the second half, scored by Steve Stone. Chris Bart-Williams and Scott Gemmell manufactured the chance for Stone, this to end the week of his first England cap at what proved to be the winning goal at White Hart Lane. Having said that, Spurs nearly saved a point. This was a chance squandered by Jason Dozell. But Spurs were below par and almost conceded a second goal, a volley from Forest captain Stuart Pearce, requiring a splendid save from Walker. Forest the winners, and a real high spot in the blossoming career of Steve Stone.
Yes, it's been quite a week. Getting on for England was very special to us, you know. And today winning 1-0 away from home at Tottenham is always a very good result for us. So I'm absolutely delighted the way the week's gone.
Blackburn Rovers beleaguered manager Ray Harford has kept his promise to strengthen his squad. Norwegian international Lars Bohinen has been signed from Nottingham Forest for £700,000, and Scottish international Billy McKinlay has cost just over twice that amount from Dundee United. McKinlay was only on the bench against Southampton, but it took Bohinen just 19 minutes to start repaying what's surely a bargain transfer fee. He'd been influential in Blackburn's early dominance, and he was in the right place to steer an across from Stuart Ripley. Southampton offered little threat as Rovers continued to impress, and they had several escapes before conceding a second goal 20 minutes from time, caught out by the quick thinking of Alan Shearer, whose free kick clearly stunned Dave Besson. Blackburn had further opportunities to increase their lead, Bohinen coming close on this occasion, a fine save from Besson. But the final word came from the away side, a goal in injury time from Neil Madison. It gave the scoreline a respectability Southampton didn't really deserve. Blackburn the winners by 2-1. It's not been the best of weeks for Joe Royle. The Everton manager's plans hit by the prison sentence imposed on Scottish international striker Duncan Ferguson. At least Royle had the consolation against Bolton of two other star names returning. The Ukrainian Andrei Konchauskas was back sooner than expected from a serious shoulder problem. And Nigerian international Daniel Amokachi was back in the attack after recovering from a head injury. Restoration of their foreign stars was a fillip then for Everton, but with only 45 seconds played, the Merseyside team were behind. Bolton, starting the match with only Manchester City below them, were ahead with a goal from their Finnish international, Miksu Katalainen. He was back in the side after injury, having been out of action since the opening day. Both sides were reduced to 10 men in a fiery 10-minute spell in the second half. First to go was Dutchman Richard Snakers. Bolton's midfield man sent off for his second bookable offence, a foul on Andy Hinchcliffe. But soon Everton were also a man short. Welsh international Barry Horn dismissed for a reckless high challenge on goalkeeper Keith Brannigan, which left him needing lengthy treatment. Everton were chasing an equaliser, and they were finally rewarded with 6 minutes to go. Paul Rideout making amends for an earlier miss by hooking in a corner from Hinchcliffe. Everton season, though, still not really off the ground. Final score, Bolton 1, Everton 1.